This is a series where I watch each individual episode of YuGiOh GX, the English dub version, and react to it on camera. I guess I'm an exchange student, I don't know. Just call me an Exchange of the Spirit student. Cause Exchange of the Spirit is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's the joke, is the YuGiOh GX theme song. It's kind of brilliant. Chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard. Finding trouble. Never looking too hard.
Chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard. Finding trouble, never looking too hard.
If you're looking too hard, you're doing it wrong. In his first move, Jaden summons Elemental Hero Avian in defense mode, which immediately gets him disqualified from the entrance exam because you can't summon things in defense mode, you have to set them in defense mode. So he's done. He's out of the entrance exam, he doesn't go to school, the show's over.
Don't stop believing.
Oh no, sorry, it's fine, because the show doesn't actually care about how the card game works, it just cares about how cool it could be if you could do that stuff. You know what you should be hoping to be able to do, Jaden, rather than fight an ancient gear golem, is make your parents love you enough to drive you places. Hello, I'd like to apply for your school. Okay, do you have any money? No, but I'm the main character. Oh, okay, come on in then. Looking out at the Duel Academy through the window, and Bastion's looking at it like he's got this big smile on his face, like he's like, oh yes, I'm so much better than you, Duel Academy. Like he's looking at the island like, oh, is that what you call an island? My daddy owns an island 10 times the size of that. We call it Great Britain. But clearly, as Jaden just pointed out, good or bad, when someone challenges you to a duel, you just gotta step up. There's no choice. There's no choice.
When someone challenges you to a duel, you gotta step up. There's no choice.
That's insane to me. He thinks that. He believes that. There's no choice. Just the implication is terrifying. Oh man, I gotta attend my dad's funeral. I challenge you to a card game, Jaden. Well, no choice. Jaden Yuki there, skipping his dad's funeral for a card game. Alexis asks if Jaden's impressed, and Jaden says, impressed? I think I'm in love. Are you f***ing kidding, Jaden? We all know you don't have emotions other than card games and the desire to play them. You're not in love with anybody. You are incapable of that feeling. Jaden Yuki, sociopath. Crowler watches the boat go, still in the water, and says that he'll find a way to expel Jaden right after he finds a way back. Are there no security cameras on the island? It seems like that would be perfectly good evidence there. But no, I guess we don't want to monitor the safety of these kids on an island with a volcano that is quite active. Nothing to worry about. No concern necessary. Inside the classroom, Professor Banner is supervising the exam, and Jaden finds Cyrus sleeping in his seat, so he wakes him up. And all of this commotion, of course, is distracting to Chaz, who tells them to keep it down from a few rows back, because some of them are trying to pass. And what's really missing here is a shot of Chaz's paper where he's filled in all the answers as Chaz it up. And he gets them all right. That was the answer. Everybody else fails. And then he summons a card saying, here's a guy who can really turn up the heat. And you're thinking, oh, he's gonna summon like Flame Wingman somehow, because of flames. You know, fire, heat, that. But no, he summons Elemental Hero Sparkman. So what was all the fire wordplay about? Did getting hit by a series of missiles throw off the pun center of your brain or something? Here's a guy with a lot of electricity, if you know what I mean. Flame guy! Jaden's not the kind of guy who's like, oh, I'm scared, I'm gonna stop trying to play card games now. He's the kind of guy who'll be like, oh man, I get to duel with Satan? Bring it on, man! Jaden activates Mirage of Nightmare and sets a few cards face down. Mirage of Nightmare is kind of a terrifying looking card. Hey, I'm Jaden Yuki, the bubbly little high schooler, and I think the perfect way to represent my character in my deck is by putting Mirage of Nightmare in there. If Jaden could have any motto other than get your game on, it would be, because that seems to be how he deals with most of his problems, successfully. Undertaker holds up his Millennium item and threatens Jaden with it again. And then Jaden Yuki throws his Elemental Hero Avian card at the puzzle, and it stabs into it like it's a knife. Oh, what is that card made of? And what is that puzzle made of? Imagine if that was the real puzzle, though. And Yami Yugi just got scissored in half by a trading card. The irony. Live by the children's card game, die by the children's card game, I suppose. It's episode 6 of this show, and a father just died horrifically in front of the protagonist, who was like, I don't care, guy dying, what are you gonna do? But no, actually, Jaden really spends the last few moments of the Shadow Duelist's life telling him that his special effects were great. Jaden Yuki, the kind of guy who just stares at a dying man and shows zero concern. Want to be friends with him? Tell a lie, actually. What she really does is this really, really bad-looking walking animation.
Hello?
Hang on a sec, we gotta stop the review because I just realized I left my drink outside. Okay, we can carry on now. But you can't figure out how to fill out 2 more forms. Why are you bad at all basic activities, Jaden? Jaden Yuki, great at card games, bad at everything else. And for your consideration, here is Zane Truesdale of Duel Academy with one of the fanciest reveals of a polymerization card known to man.
But neither will be here long. In present form.
Ooh, that's a fancy reveal. Gotta say, I can see why the ladies like him. And Chumley says, what are you talking about? Master of Oz has 4,200 attack points. Which obviously is a ridiculous thing to point out because at this point, after several hundred episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh, you'd think the viewer would know that attack points aren't really everything. And that Chumley would know that, but nah. Having said that, I would really like to start using that as a counterpoint in every argument. Having a deep discussion about societal taboos, and I just break out, what are you talking about? Master of Oz has 4,200 attack points. Arguing the merits of The Last Jedi as a film. And I just break out, what are you talking about? Master of Oz has 4,200 attack points. Jaden and Cyrus get on the duel platform and what the f***? What is that? What is that? What is that one of those things? What are those weird creatures just sort of sat watching in the duel arena audience? They look all wrong. They look like a bunch of weird doll creatures. Chancellor Shepard delivers once again the best line read of the episode.
Crowler, don't you think this is a bit much?
I don't know, don't you think that line read was a bit much?
I got my Burstinatrix chilling in defense mode.
Chilling in defense mode. Yes, that is how he describes it. That is my new AFK message. And my voicemail. Sorry, Martin can't come to the phone right now. He's busy chilling in defense mode. I'm recording that right now. Here we go. How do I do this?
I'm sorry, but Martin can't come to the phone right now because he's busy chilling in defense mode. But please leave a message after the beep. Thank you.
Hey! And this time Pharaoh the cat is sleeping in the rafters. Meow! I am dreaming of an all-cat version of Yu-Gi-Oh! In which I am the main character. It's called Yugi Neko. It's got Cat Yugi, Cat Joey, Cat Tristan, Cat Kaiba, Cat Mokuba, Cat Merrick, regular Taya, she's still a girl. What is Banner f***ing on about? Does Banner not know their schedule? Professor Banner, if you don't know that these kids have classes with Crowler, then that casts you in a pretty shoddy light. Pharaoh the cat licks Crowler on the face. Meow. Forget Jaden and Alexis, this is the real ship of the show. Crowler? More like Meowler. Prah. And I actually made a promise in the early episodes of this series that I would eat a Kuriboh card on camera if Bastion would get any character development within 10 episodes. And he didn't. It's episode 12, so there. Bastion rushes onto the baseball field and explains that he's late because he was deep into some attack point quantum mechanics and he lost track of time. Because of all the attack point quantum mechanics that he was doing. Attack point quantum mechanics! I know it's early days into the Bastion-themed episode, but can I get really angry already? Is that allowed? Because I'm already pissed at this guy. You have so many options of what you can say as to why you didn't show up on time for baseball practice. Like, I don't know, I was playing card games. The opposing team asks Bastion if he can throw. Yeah, he's perfectly capable of throwing. Throwing my world into a state of lunacy. Ooh, I hates that, Bastion! And then we get a little montage of Jaden, Cyrus, and Bastion all painting over the formulas on the walls and the ceiling. And we see Jaden is painting the ceiling, so he turns around and he says, hey guys, check it out, I'm Michelangelo. And regardless of whether he meant the artist or the Ninja Turtle, Both of them are spinning in their graves right now. Of course, Michelangelo the Ninja Turtle was already spinning in his grave. Later, Cyrus runs into class and tells Jaden that Chaz is leaving. And Jaden is like, I don't care. I'm not joking. He literally has that reaction. Who cares? And Cyrus says, I don't know, maybe because he's your main rival? And Jaden says, oh yeah, without Chaz, there's no competition for me here. While he's surrounded by literal dozens of other elite dueling students. Jade and Yuki there basically just discounting a large number of people's value. Alexis tells Jaden and Cyrus that they want to go find Chaz too, because Chaz is an obelisk blue, and they look out for their own. Yeah, try telling that to your brother, Alexis. That when they handed the script to the translator, they told him, look, this episode heavily features a monkey, so, you know, feel free to throw 1 or 2 monkey jokes in there, if you can think of any. And then the translator was like, I have been waiting for this day. That's exactly what happened. And this kid, who it turns out is called Tori, says that everything that Professor Banner taught them about paranormal aspects of duel monsters turned out to be true. And then Jaden follows this up with, forget the school nurse, he might need a therapist. Jaden Yuki there making fun of somebody's mental problems. Harrington has a perfectly reasonable reaction.
You can't talk to a first-round pick like Alexis. I mean, you can't even return a buggy whip with some topspin, so stay away from my little obelisk pixie.
What the f***? I get the feeling that whoever adapted the script for this episode had the Wikipedia page for tennis rules open in a separate browser the whole time. Jaden chastises Chumley for talking while they're trying to hide.
Look, there's 2 things I do with my mouth, talk or eat.
Oh, thank God.
So either you give me a grilled cheese or...
The giant!
Joke's on Jaden, that sound was actually Chumley's heart screaming in terror as it flees from the encroaching hordes of his cholesterol. Chumley looks at the pastries and asks which of them is most like grilled cheese. Also, it is hilarious to me that the actual setup for this exhibit was gonna be that. Just a glass case with like an elevated platform with the deck box on top of it. You wouldn't be able to see anything. The thing is not big enough for you to be able to put all 40 cards from Yugi's deck on it individually, so they'd just be in one pile, or even in just a deck box. You wouldn't see anything! Who thought this out? Kids will love standing around a glass case and imagining what cards Yugi probably had. And then he activates Swords of Revealing Light! I really can't help it, I'm sorry. And of course, since they've been attending Duel Academy for some time now, Jaden knows exactly what Swords of Revealing Light does. Right?
Hey, what's happening?
I guess somebody must have activated Swords of Revealing Light on Jaden's education, because he's probably going to be held back 3 years. Dimitri graciously explains what one of the most basic spell cards in the game does. Flame Wingman attacks and destroys Dark Magician Girl, which exemplifies the final point on the Jaden system of picking up women, which goes as follows. Jeopardize your relationship with other people in order to get with her, ask her if she's single, dominate the conversation with talk about card games, establish that she has no reason to look anywhere else for a partner, and then nullify the relationship by destroying her in a card game. That is the Jaden system of picking up women. Don't use it.
Listen, we're dueling, so turn your game on! It's get your game on, say it right!
No, you know what? I prefer Dimitri's version. Much less obnoxious.
My sidekick gig is,
What? No, Cyrus, don't be ridiculous. Jaden would never replace you as his closest friend. Never.
Guys, what do you say we chill upstairs?
No! You meant to chill in the schoolyard! The lyrics are very clear about that!
Wait till I tell the guys about this!
You won't be telling anyone anything.
Is she going to murder him? Cyrus and Chumley chuckle to themselves and take off.
Hey, Chumley, wanna go get some new cards? Yeah, I got one in mind.
Just do me a favor, fellas, and stay away from the girls in my deck.
Cyrus and Chumley there, just taking off to go f*** some trading cards.
Alright guys, get your eat on!
How about you get your f*** off on? In the audience, Professor Banner holds up Pharaoh the cat and says this does not look good. Brah! Speak for yourself, bitch. I'm the hottest cat on this island. Only cat on this island, really. That makes me king of cats. Brah, brah. Bastian plays Posh of Greed, which allows him to draw 2 monocles and wear them both on his face at the same time. Some people would be like, hey Bastian, why don't you just wear glasses? And he would say,
The field spells skyscraper!
You know, it's called skyscraper, but there's clearly like dozens of skyscrapers there. It's more like just a city. I guess the temptation for ridicule would just be too great if it was just called city. Alright, Kaiba, I activate my city card. Your shitty card. So of course, Wildheart throws the boomerang directly at the ground, like you do with a boomerang, and it starts spinning so hard that it starts eating through the floor as it charges toward Litmus Doom Swordsman. Again, much like how you would use a typical boomerang. And of course, the boomerang returns to Wildheart, smacking him dead in the face and destroying him in his first amazing appearance. Not only has this school been responsible for several students going missing and covering it up, apparently, but they have Jade and Yuki as their representative. Could they f anything up worse? I don't believe they could.
You can't be alone all by yourself!
You know, Alexis has shown more investment in finding Jaden than she has ever shown in finding her missing brother. Belowski has possibly the greatest comeback of the entire series.
Get your game on! Yeah, man, whatever.
And then Belowski makes his first move.
First, I'm gonna summon Moki Moki in defense Modi Modi.
The what in what? Belowski's life points drop to 0, but instead of falling on his hands and knees like you're supposed to when you lose, he falls backwards onto his bum. No! Now you're disqualified from the duel that you've already lost. Until next time, here's hoping I don't go missing and Gerard doesn't completely neglect to inform people that I was abducted. I'll catch you later.
Hey, let's duel again sometime. Me too.